Daang libong Chinese militia ang biglaang dumagsa sa teritoryo ng Pilipinas. Ayon sa PCG, itinaas na ng China ang pinataw nilang fishing ban sa West Philippine Sea. Base sa ulat, mahigit 16,000 barko o 16,000 Chinese militia na ang namataang lumalayag papasok ng Pilipinas. Babala ng tagapagsalita ng Pangulo, ipahuhuli lahat ni BBM lahat ng Chinese militia na papasok sa ating teritoryo dahil ayon sa Pangulo, planong limasin ng China lahat ng isda na pwedeng makuha sa ating teritoryo.
Pulo-pulutong ang mga sasakyang pandagat na nabidyuhang naglayag mula China papuntang South China Sea ngayong tapos na ang kanilang fishing ban. Mula sa isang probinsya pa lang nila, 16,000 barko na ang dineploy.
Yung mga kasama namin dito, takot na magpunta doon. Sa halip na doon makakuha ng maraming isda, dahil yun man talaga sa ating teritoryo naman natin. Tayo pang binabawalan.
We do not recognize China's fishing ban. This has been the subject of our diplomatic protest, and we will continue to register our formal opposition to it. It is an illegal exercise of a state authority insofar as they cover the Philippine maritime zones. We urge China to take active measures at their port to prevent its fishing fleets from encroaching into our territorial sea and EEZ. The Philippines is ready to take law enforcement measures on legal fishing activities in its waters.
We demand that the government of the People's Republic of China immediately cease and desist all its perversive, unlawful, and unacceptable activities in the West Philippine Sea. Guided by the directive of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. in his second State of the Nation address, the Philippine government will continue to uphold its sovereign rights and preserve our nation's sovereignty and territorial integrity, and join in assuring the Filipino people that this government will not lose any inch of our territory. We will never waver in our determination to resupply our troops stationed in Ayungin Shoal and in other Philippine-occupied features. Under the leadership of President Marcos, we will uphold the implementation of the 2016 Arbitral Award in relation to our rights in the West Philippine Sea in defense of our rules-based international order. Our position is clear. The award is final and indisputable, and we firmly reject attempts to undermine it. But guided by the President, we will always pursue constant dialogue and diplomatic approaches with other claimants towards the resolution of any issue that might arise. Thank you very much.
And the policy of this government is very clear. As they said, not 1 inch of our territory should actually be handed over to China. The Philippines demands that China immediately stop its illegal activities in our maritime zones. The Department of Foreign Affairs is one with the Armed Forces of the Philippines and the Philippine Coast Guard in their pursuit of our shared mandate to protect and uphold our legal maritime entitlements. The DFA is making full use of our diplomatic processes and is exercising all possible action available to us, including the summoning of the Chinese ambassador over this incident. The resupply mission to and the upkeep of the BRP Sierra Madre are legitimate Philippine government activities in our country's exclusive economic zone, which are all in accordance with international law, particularly UNCLOS. As a law-tied elevation, Ayungin Shoal can neither be the subject of a sovereign claim, nor is it capable of appropriation under international law, a fact affirmed by the 2016 Arbitral Award. China cannot, therefore, lawfully exercise sovereignty over it. China's illegal exercise of maritime law enforcement powers, interference with the legitimate Philippine rotation and resupply mission, including its aggressive use of water cannon against our vessels, and any other activity that infringes upon our sovereign rights and jurisdiction over Ayungin Shoal are violations of international The DFA further called China's attention that its actions are likewise contrary to China's flag state obligation under the 1972 International Regulations for Preventing Collisions at Sea, which requires states to take measures necessary to ensure safety at sea and prevent ship collisions. The CCG vessel's dangerous maneuvers restricted the Philippine vessel's navigational path, thereby increasing the risk of collision in violation of Rules 2, 7, and 8 of Colrex. The DFA firmly asked China to 1. Direct its vessels to stop their illegal action against Philippine vessels and to stop interfering in legitimate Philippine activities. 2. Comply with its obligation under international law, including the 1982 UNCLOS and the 2016 award and the South China Sea arbitration and the 1972 Colrex, and adhere to its commitments under the DOC. During the summon, the Philippines, through the FAA, also expressed disappointment that the DFA was unable to reach its counterpart to the maritime communication mechanism for several hours while the incident was occurring, and expressed the hope that the Chinese side will reciprocate with the same sense of urgency the communication initiated by the Philippines, as has been demonstrated by the Philippines when receiving communications initiated by the Chinese side.
The diplomatic protests are for purposes of putting on record our continuing objection to what the Chinese are doing. The moment we stop issuing these diplomatic protests, it can be construed by China and the international community as an abandonment of our position. So this government, in particular the Department of Foreign Affairs, will continue to file these diplomatic protests even if it runs into the hundreds, because precisely by doing so, we are reaffirming our commitment to the Philippine position that it is that the Ayungin Shoal and all other features which we occupy are part of the exclusive economic zone of the Philippines. We exercise sovereign rights and jurisdiction over those features. As to the second question, sorry, can you repeat the question? Okay. When we do resupply missions, and I will ask our colleagues here to also add to this, no? When we do resupply missions, we are exercising our rights, no, under international law. Because as mentioned, we have a permanently stationed Philippine Commission vessel, Navy vessel in Ayungin Shoal. Okay. So when we do supply, we provide them with what is necessary for the maintenance of the LS-57. So we provide food, we provide everything, provisions, no? Irrespective of what China says. It is our right to bring whatever is necessary to maintain the station and to ensure that our troops there are properly provisioned. May request lang kami sa NTFWTPS kasi kung minsan narinig namin sa mga balita na parang in question pa rin yung ating pagmamay-ari sa mga features na clearly was already awarded to us by the 2016 arbitral ruling and the provisions of the UNCLOS. Kasi meron pang illegal. Huwag na natin gamitin sana, no, to our friends from the media. The legal position of the Philippines is very clear and is supported by many countries. No? So we ask the support of the media to please provide the correct narrative and not fall into the narrative of the Chinese government insofar as this issue is concerned.
Ngayon, ikaw bilang Pilipino, ano ang masasabi mo at reaksyon sa balitang ito? Mag-iwan ka ng komento sa ibaba at atin pong babasahin isa-isa.